Well, welcome back everyone to another speed build. Hope you guys are all having the best of days as always. My name is Leaf and it's so great to have you guys here, especially for this build. Today we're doing something I don't think I've done just yet. I'm doing a movie-inspired build. Now listen, I know, Mr. Rudy Renkomo, I know this is your baby over here, but listen, I gotta get some of that pie, alright? You got me? You understand? So, recently I watched Turning Red, as I'm sure many of you guys have at home, and I really liked it. I know, that's probably not what you were expecting, but I think I sat with it for a little bit, and I really did like the movie. I don't know, I guess this is gonna be like a movie review kind of episode, but I know a lot of people have some issues with it, some qualms, they can't really quote-unquote relate to it, but it was just really nice and refreshing just to get, like, you know, this little slice of lice, yeah, that's, no, we're not doing slice of lice, we're doing slice of life. It was just really refreshing to get that kind of view. From Pixar, especially after like so many different things have happened. I don't know, I just really liked it. It was so fun, and plus like red pandas, who could hate them, you know? Well, apparently the entire family can, because they all chose to not be them. But hey, spoilers aside, it was just really cute, and I was really inspired by the temple from that build. So, not build, wow, I'm just messing up all over the place. I was just really inspired by the movie, from the temple from the movie. So I was like, you know what? That's something I really got to make in Planet Zoo. I saw like one look at it, and I texted like Nick, I texted Forge, I texted all of them. Like, listen, I need to make this in Planet Zoo. This is freaking beautiful. And you know what? I think I did, and it turned out extremely beautiful. So yeah, we had a lot of fun with that. I was very excited about all of this. So it was a lot of work trying to get like all the custom tiles to look right. Essentially what I did first, I kind of made like the original like, you know, layout of it. I have like the streets kind of going all over the place. This is available as a habitat in case if you guys want to try it out. In your own zoos, or if you just want to throw it like somewhere in like your city maps, feel free to go for that. It's going to be on my workshop. You guys probably know where that is. In case if you don't, it's in the description down below. But yeah, this was just a really fun build to do, and it was so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I don't know, it was just a really refreshing thing just to get into a build like this, because I don't really do too many recreations nowadays. I'm kind of just like, you know, freestyling, I'm freeballing it. But it was just really fun, so it was just really nice to do. One of the things I really wanted to make sure was looking nice and mighty fine was the entrance, because it is this kind of like, you know, it kind of has that beautiful flair to it. And it was so fun to put together, and I also want to do all the details on the outside of the little temple community center first and foremost. So they have this little cork board. I kind of have that a little dilapidated right behind it, but they have a few things hanging up. Maybe there's some like events happening in the community that they have going on over there. So that's like, you know, the best way for them to get information out there, and I thought that was pretty cute. So I really just wanted to have that over here and make sure that like it all matches up perfectly. And I also want to do some decals as well, make the wall look a little bit dilapidated, because they are an old established community over there in Toronto. I really did want it, or is it Vancouver? I don't know. I don't really know Canada, guys. I'm sorry. Bold, listen, I'm so sorry. Also, they have these flags hanging, and I was like, what kind of small pieces can make it look like font? And I thought those nice decals right there would fit perfectly, and they kind of do. I'm pretty happy with how well that turned out. And also, a big majority of this build is heavily reliant on bamboo, because I have all these beautiful custom clay tiles throughout the entire build. It was really fun to build this. Specifically just because I don't really build in East Asian architecture all that much. I really just want to try this out, and I think I did pretty good with it. So you can see me start to do one half of that, and then I copy it over to the other side right over there, and I kind of just push everything aside, make it look nice and snug in there, and we work on the clay ridge on the top, and we do a little bit of decorations with that, and I do these kind of like stonework things. This is supposed to be stone. I'm using wooden pieces. Please forgive me for that. But anyways, moving on through here, I do need to apologize before we get any further. I did remember that most of the video did not record. It turns out when you use Disney Plus's reference, NVIDIA Ansel actually takes note of that, and they're like, okay, you can't record now. So I was like, why isn't my recording working? Why isn't it working? And I finally looked it up, and apparently you can't really use Ansel when you're using streaming platforms like Netflix and Disney Plus and Hulu and stuff. So that was honestly very interesting to know. I applaud Rudy even more for his care to detail now, because I would lose my mind at that. But essentially what we do over here, we're just working on the rest of the entrance. I really just want to have these panda statues over here. Originally they're stone. I opt in for like that paper mache panda instead. I think those are actually a lot more cuter and they bring in a lot more color. While they aren't, I was gonna go for like a normal panda, but I was like, no, that just takes out all the soul of the movie. So essentially, I opt for the normal red pandas. I think that looks pretty good in the end. And we also need to work on the entrance to that temple over there. We kind of get it started. We save that kind of for last. I work on the other temples instead, like the other buildings within the temple, actually. And it was pretty fun. And we also have this little bit of the incense burner right in the middle of the area. And I did find out that is actually an incense burner. So I do make like custom incense and stuff. And I also make like custom handles on that little pot as well, just to make sure it feels a lot more centered. And there we go, adding the bamboo, making sure that everything looks good. And I also add the rest of like the stone for the complex. There is a lot of nice green area, like kind of like hidden in this little city block, I guess. You don't really see it in the movie. I tried my best to recreate the movie as much as possible, but I also wanted to make it as, as true to Planet Zoo as possible. I really wanted to make it so that it was usable in the game. That's something I really thought was important to have over there as well, so I think I did pretty good at that. What I also do, I kind of work on the roofing. I'm not the best roofer, I do apologize. Roofs scare me, actually, in case if you guys didn't already know. But it was pretty fun to work with the clay tiles. They aren't one-to-one, I apologize, but it was still really fun to do. None the less. So moving on through the rest of here, adding these beautiful paper lanterns, making sure that everything looks good, and also making the rest of the stone on the walls over there, making sure that everyone is able to stay nice and safe in here, in case if a giant red panda does attack. But moving on through here, adding the rest of the pots and stuff, because there is this one little scene of this nice little lady doing Tai Chi, and you get a really good glimpse at like what's happening over there. And they have some beautiful cherry trees, they have a bunch of stuff like that, so I wanted to make sure that that all looked pretty good over there. And we also do a custom door here as well. I really want to do like the whole shrine that they have in here. Unfortunately, I didn't really have time for that, so I opt for panda bedding instead. So the pandas are able to sleep nice and tight in there. And we're also just working on the rest of the build as well, making sure that this all looks nice. They have this beautiful door right there, and I really wanted to recreate that, so we do a lot of work on this main building as well. I should have put the brooms in there from that one little scene. I thought that would have been cute. That was just a really heartwarming scene. I don't know, I just really did like it. But I kind of digress. I should probably add that in, like an updated version of the blueprint. But moving on through here, just want to add some wood up there just to make sure it feels nice, make sure we get rid of all that white in there, because it is a little bit it's a little daunting, if I'm going to be completely honest, but we do break it up with like the windows and stuff. Those windows were really fun to build. I used the education frames, like the Zoopedia frames. I feel like I never use those. Forge just remind me of using them, so I really wanted to do that as well, so I throw those in there. And yeah, that's about that. I also do some external pillars as well, because you do see those in the movie, making sure that those are nice and keeping the building secure. And it was just really fun just to build with like East Asia pieces, because I never build East Asia, as I said before. So it really is so cool just to see like the intricacies that happens with the architecture, especially with like the areas in between the beams and columns and stuff. That was always fun to build for. But over here, doing the same technique with the mud pillar, making sure that everything is nice and organized, and I get to work on the roof over here. It's nothing too crazy. In fact, I actually do get away with doing less work on the roof, because I've already done part of the roof work before. It was very nice to finally get that L for me. I'm so happy about it, or rather, a dub. But moving on through here, adding like, you know, the clay tiles on the top. It looks so nice. I just love the color palette of this movie too. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful, bright movie. I feel like after Luca, I was like, okay, I can't wait for like, you know, a little bit more drab, kind of like Cars 3, maybe even Lightyear. But no, they hit us with all the color in there. I also did that little garden area. I thought that was very cute. And we also do like some of the small decorations as well, like that little chess table. Unfortunately, I'm not the person to make tiny chess pieces. If you want that, go to like Goron or something. I don't make that kind of jazz. But add in the rest of the stuff in here, making sure that everything looks nice. There was a little bit of a money box over there because it does seem like the temple does take donations from visitors. So I wanted to make sure we have that, as well as the Panda merchandise, which I think I add like relatively soon. I also add interiors of the buildings as well. Make sure that it's nice and bright and clean up in there. And yeah, it's just relatively nice. I was very happy with how all this came out. Raising the roof inside the main temple as well, making sure that all looks good. And I also add a bunch of moss decals, just because you do see that in the movie. It is kind of like a little bit of a tiny bit overgrown, but I think that works to its advantage. It's very beautiful in the end. But we also add a little bit of enrichment on, like, you know, water areas for the red pandas. Make sure that they're able to be happy and stimulated, because hey, you know what? Who doesn't deserve that? We also add a scratching post over there and some light decorations in areas that you don't really see in the movie. I add all those carts and, like, you know, all the general East Asia props essentially. And we add some fans. We have some red panda statues and stuff. You could probably assume that they would take advantage of their little marketing technique right over there. And we do cover that up with a little bit of trash right there. But hey, that's it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was a really fun build, I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, hope you guys enjoy the movie. If you have not seen it yet, please go watch it. It's very cute. It's such a passion project, and you can tell that through the movie. I know it's probably not everyone's cup of tea, but it at least deserves a watch. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to subscribe. Make that little button red, the red button you see there. You know, turning red? How about turning gray? Make that button gray. Okay. All that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Take care and have the most wonderful of wonderful days. Bye-bye now.